Hey, I'm in a sea breezy mood. When I know, when did you? No, did it right now? What's up? What up, everybody? What is good? What up? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon. Whatever time zone you're in, what is happening? What's happening? All right, so here's the deal. Here's what we're probably gonna wind up doing is we're gonna do a little reaction for a little bit. We're just gonna, chill, talk for a bit. I'm gonna do some reactions, see what's going on in the world today. And then we'll go from there. To be honest, I'm gonna vibe, eat a little bit, man. Hope everyone's or night, afternoon, whatever it is over there. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. Oh man. Best drink in the world right there. Best drink in the world, guys. I swear to God. Arizona tea. Arizona mango. Arizona mango. I don't know what's wrong. What y'all got to doing today? This afternoon, night? I know it's night for some people. All right. Let me see something real quick, guys. Let's. Oh, that's spicy. But there's somebody did a video about Warzone dying, and I gotta see this. It's talking about like Warzone's dead and all this. And where is it at? I think it was exclusive Ace. If you can find anything on Warzone. Warzone's dying. Deep yesterday. Sophie got that damn bear. Where is it at? Did Jay got make it? No, Jay got made a video. There it is, exclusive Ace. Is this the downfall of Call of Duty? Yes, well, I want to see. All right, shout out to exclusive Ace, man. If you ain't following exclusive, make sure you follow exclusive. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look.
What's up, guys? My name is Ace, and is Call of Duty in trouble? That's what we're going to be exploring today. It does seem like things are not going very well for the franchise at the moment. And I just wanted to share some of the observations I've made, as well as my overall thoughts on this situation. Now, to answer the question right up front, is Call of Duty in trouble? Overall, in the grand scheme of things, Call of Duty's probably doing just fine because the vast majority of its player base consists of these super casual players. These are players that don't engage with the game anywhere outside of the game itself, so they're not here watching YouTube videos about it. You don't see them talking about it on Twitter or Reddit. They're not on Twitch watching Call of Duty. They just log in, they play it, and that's it. And for this group of players, they're generally oblivious to at least many of the issues that are in the game. And at the end of the day, I would say most devs would kill for the massive audience that Call of Duty has, even when it's at its lowest point. In saying this though, the worrying trend that we're seeing lately is the core community, the people that do engage with discussion and content outside of the game itself. They really seem to be turning against the franchise more than usual for this time of the year. And to be clear, especially in recent years, it's not uncommon to have what I like to call the holiday lull when it comes to Call of Duty. During this time, it seems the devs are all on holiday, or at least most of them, and therefore nothing's really changing with the game. It's kind of in.
It's going to be interesting to see Friday's was it today? I think it's today. Today's update. It's going to be interesting just off the simple fact of what is it's going to be like, what changes is going to happen? What are we going to change? Is there going to be game changes? Like, I know they put, there's going to be a big massive update, but is it really going to hit? Like, you're not going to it's not going to be one change, all the cheaters are gone. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. It's going to be interesting to see what changes. Is it just the update for the Squid Games, or what is it? That's going to be the real tall tale signs of, is this game actually going in the right direction? I don't believe it is. I think, like he said, I think the Call of Duty community is a lot of casuals, and that's nothing bad about that. Nothing bad about that part. I think that's I don't have no bad thing to say about that. But like the core community, the core base, like the ones that engage, I think they're the one, like you said, they're the ones up in arms. But as far as numbers wise, the numbers are stellar. Like, yeah, it dropped 20-30%, but it's still not a decreasing game. Like every year, it's the COD cycle. Every year we do something different. So it's going to be interesting.
Limbo at the moment, where we're not likely to be seeing any significant updates or improvements to the game for several weeks. We don't really have any more meaningful content coming to the game for like another month with the launch of Season 2. And therefore, this is the time of the year where frustrations really tend to build with every recent Call of Duty game. And while I know it can often be hard to maintain perspective on things while you're in the middle of it, so I could be wrong in saying this, but it really seems like this is more than just the typical holiday lull for Call of Duty. Based on a lot of the reception I've been seeing in my comment section or on Reddit, on Twitter, basically places where people are discussing the game, it seems more and more people that have been hanging in there with Call of Duty are just dropping off entirely, and they're just done with the franchise. They're not just bored of.
And that's where Marvel Rivals come into effect. That's when Marvel Rivals is thriving right now.
The current state of the current
game. Not just because of Call of Duty, though.
And then they'll come back. It seems more like they've just had enough of this entirely, and they're done. And this is a potentially concerning trend for the future of the franchise. I also wanted to share just a bunch of observations I've noticed being involved with the Call of Duty community. It seems right now Warzone is in absolute shambles. Now,
that's
this
true.
Is more from an outsider's perspective, since I don't play Warzone at all, but I do follow a ton of other creators that do play Warzone, and they cover Warzone as their primary game, or at least they used to, but many of them have abandoned Warzone entirely for content, it seems, or they really dialed it back and they're branching out to other things because one,
Marvel Rivals
not enjoying it in its current state with all of the issues that are happening, and two, it really seems the views have dropped off a cliff for Warzone.
100%.
It's generally a sign that the core community that would typically be consuming that content, they're also not enjoying the game, and they're not playing it as much, and they're not as interested as they used to be. On top of that, when we look at our Steam chart data, which shows accurate player counts for Steam, unfortunately that's the only platform where we get accurate player numbers. When we compare the November to December numbers for Black Ops 6 compared to last year with Modern Warfare 3 and the year before with Modern Warfare 2, we're seeing a significantly larger drop in player numbers, and this part especially is concerning. I remember back to Modern Warfare 2, it was a huge concern that they lost about 20% of their player base on Steam. Then with Modern Warfare 3, they actually gained a small amount of players from November to December, and their player retention actually held on quite well throughout.
I'm gonna say this. I would take Modern Warfare 3 at the end over this right now.
Throughout the year, even though they didn't
just give me a little bit of omni movement and we'd be good.
Have quite as big of a spike at the beginning. And then when it comes to Black Ops 6, based on the Steam charts, we're seeing a 40% reduction in the player base from November to December. Now, keep in mind, that's for Call of Duty as a whole, so that also applies to Warzone. That's not just Black Ops 6 multiplayer, but it's everything in combination. And that is a very concerning drop, considering the fact that back in Modern Warfare 2, a 20% drop seemed like a big flop. Now, obviously, Steam is just one platform, and it's probably the least played platform. I'm not too sure if Battle.net is beating them out or not on PC. But
I would love to see Battle.net numbers.
Is the top games on PlayStation throughout the month of December. While they don't reveal exact player count, they will reveal the ranking, and Call of Duty has fallen to number 3 on this list, behind Fortnite, which is not too surprising. I mean, Call of Duty does drop behind Fortnite fairly often. That alone isn't really a cause for concern. But it also dropped behind NBA 2K, and that's a concern, especially just a couple months after Call of Duty launched. That's something that, at least as
I didn't know that.
Remember, just doesn't happen or hasn't happened historically. So
I didn't know it fell behind NBA 2K. That's crazy.
Too good as far as that player count drop off. On top of that, in the game itself, some observations I've noticed lately is in multiplayer, players seem to be backing out at higher rates than I have ever seen before in Call of Duty. Nearly every single game I play involves a bunch of people backing out, and at least for a good portion of the match, it's like 6v2 or 6v3. And that's potentially indicating some issues with the game itself, which we'll talk about in just a little bit.
Servers.
On top of that, cheating seems to be absolutely out of control right now for the PC players. For me, I play on PS5. I generally keep crossplay off so I can just avoid that entirely, at least the aimbots and wall hacks. But based on the discourse I see online, it seems cheating is in a really bad state right now. To top that off, ranked play no longer allows you to disable crossplay for a fair and balanced experience where you're essentially guaranteed to never run into an aimbot or wall hacks, and at most you're going to deal with like a Cronus user. So that's really frustrating for especially the higher ranked players out there. They're running into cheaters constantly, and there's now no way they can avoid them. On a similar note, the shadow ban issue just seems to be getting worse and worse. This has been a big issue for years with Call of Duty, but I'm seeing tons of players that continually get shadow banned.
Shadow ban should be taken out.
Shadow ban, they were deemed to be innocent, but then they get shadow banned again, and it just happens over and over again.
That's a stupid cycle.
In general, I've just noticed a loss of trust with the franchise, much more so than in the past. Now, to be clear, there's always been at least a certain small group that has had no trust in the franchise and no trust in anything Activision says, but it seems that group is growing quite a bit. I'm noticing more and more people are buying into various conspiracies, like skill-based damage, for instance, which I've tried to prove this. I'm trying to prove that it's in the game, but every time I've done proper testing, using proper methodology, it always comes back with it's not actually there. So, as far as we can tell, there is zero
I swear it's in the game. I don't care. No disrespect to him, but it's in the game. It is literally in the game. I swear it is.
Reliable in-game evidence that it exists, but I'm seeing more and more people believing in this. And regardless of whether or not it's even true, it's a concerning trend to see more and more people getting on board with things like this, and obviously that should be cause for concern. Also, the white papers that Activision has been releasing, where they dive deep into a lot of their systems and how they approach things, while they can be nice at times and they offer some valuable insights, something many of us have noticed with these white papers is they just don't align with our experiences with the game itself. And this is harming trust as well. Like when they tell us ping is king and we're playing one of the most popular FPS franchises in the world, there should be tons of players at any given time searching for the game modes that you're searching for within your region, and you should be able to get your best connection game after game after game with very little deviation. In practice, you see one game at 20 ping, the next game at 60 ping, game after that at 30, the one after that at 90. I have a hard time trusting what they're saying in that white paper because it doesn't match my experience in the game. And that's just the main one. There's a lot of little things as well, like the fact that you can't get shadow banned from spam reports from a single player. They keep stating that's the case, but many people don't believe that. And again, this could be one of those cases where it's actually true. They are correct. They are providing us accurate information. At the end of the day, people don't believe it. In fact, a tweet from COD Update that was saying that actually got community noted because nobody seems to believe it. So regardless of whether or not it's actually true, this is an indication that there's an issue here, and that issue is a very clear lack of trust with the community. So
that's
putting
true.
All these observations together, it really seems like there are some big issues right now with the franchise. And like I said, I think it goes beyond just that usual holiday lull. There seem to be a lot more people turning against the franchise in general, and not just having frustrations with the current state of the current game.
Very
so at least from my perspective, and I'm sure many would agree with this in the community right now, it does seem like some things need to change at a franchise level. And I do want to talk about some of the biggest concerns that I feel need to be addressed with the franchise. Keeping in mind, I'm trying to take more of a big picture look here. We're not going to nitpick too heavily on Black Ops 6 itself. I may mention a few things here or there, but I've already provided my very detailed feedback and constructive criticism when it comes to Black Ops 6. This is more so zooming out and taking a big picture look.
Yeah,
and I think one of the big things is the general connection experience and server quality in general. I think it would really go a long way if they made some improvements and they actually talked about those improvements, and not just that, but actually making those improvements.
I don't need you to talk at COD next.
That in the game itself, and actually feel more confident in the connection experience overall. I know this is something where it's much easier said than done, but this is a massive franchise with a ton of resources at their fingertips, especially now that Microsoft owns them. And
That's
for
true.
the biggest FPS franchise out there, we really should be experiencing ping being king. And the fact
I don't need you to tell me what's going on at COD next. This new game. I need you to tell me what's going on now. Why is it so bad? What are we trying to fix? And yeah, I know we're not going to get none of that. I totally know that, and I totally understand that. But why are we not getting any information? And this is before the what's it called? Break. This is way before the break.
The fact that at least many of us absolutely are not experiencing that is a very big issue that needs to be addressed. We've gone quite a few years now with zero apparent improvements to the connection experience, and if anything, it often feels like it's getting worse than it was in previous years. And that just shouldn't be happening with such a massive franchise. Next up, you know I'm going to be talking about it in this video, matchmaking.
Not everybody cares about quality. Some people just want crap. If that's you, Bespoke Post is not for you. Every month, they fill your cart with suggestions from small brands.
Whatever they've been doing with matchmaking in modern times, it just doesn't seem to be working, at least for the core community. And I know there's many people that have been hanging on. They hated the matchmaking, but they're addicted to Call of Duty. And they've been playing it year after year, despite the fact that they really don't like the experience compared to before Modern Warfare 2019, when things really ramped up and changed. And it seems many of those people that have been hanging on, they're not hanging on any longer. They're done with it. They're fed up and they're leaving. And I also think this is one of the biggest causes for people leaving games as often as they are in Black Ops 6. At least that combined with the connection experience. And I've gotten to the same points as well. If I'm playing solo especially, and I get into a match where it just feels like the algorithm has decided that it's my turn to lose, and I've performed too well recently, and therefore it's my time to get punished, screw the algorithm. I'm out. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
Or if I get into a match, within a few gunfights, I can often tell if the connection is just feeling off. And again, at this point, I don't care. If my connection feels even just a little bit off, I'm out, because I have no trust that ping is actually being treated as king with the way their matchmaking algorithms are working, and therefore feel I have to take matters into my own hands. If the connection's bad, I leave. I search for a new game. And this is coming from someone where back in the day, I was a huge proponent of always stick it out. You get into a tough match, you're playing against a party, stick it out. You might learn something new from that experience because it's different from your typical experience. And you may learn how to break out of situations when you don't have the same advantage that you would normally have. That's back when the matchmaking felt a lot more organic, and the connection experience, in general at least, felt a bit more consistent. I'm not saying it was ever perfect, but I at least never really got the impression that my connection experience was being hampered because of my skill level, or at least my recent performance stats, and I didn't feel like there was an algorithm in the background that was deciding what my experience was about to look like, rather than just matching me based on ping with maybe a small consideration for my skill level, but much less than what it currently is. At least that's what it feels like. And again, they may insist that ping is actually king, but that doesn't match what I feel that I'm experiencing, at least, and I know many people are in the exact same boat, and therefore, I don't blame them for backing out of matches at such a high rate. Next up, another huge franchise-wide concern that I have, and I don't like the direction things have been going here, is the loss of a feeling of community when you're in the game itself. The number one thing that hurts this, and I've talked about this tons over the years, because I think this is the worst thing they could have ever done to the franchise, this is the forced disbanding lobbies. There's no longer that rematch potential. There's no longer building friendships and rivalries just by running into people randomly in game. You're never really learning how people play and adapting to them from one match to the next. All of these things are very important for that sense of in-game community, because when you just pull people out of the lobby every game against their will and search for a new game, well, it's possible you'll run into some of the same players, especially due to how the matchmaking's working. There's never any guarantee of that, and it creates a very disconnected experience where you often just don't care who you're playing against, because it doesn't matter. It's not like you get to choose to continue playing against them game after game throughout an entire gaming session, so there's really no point in caring about that in my experience. Next, another thing that's been happening a lot lately is excessive comms bans. And this is something that I think has also really harmed
I didn't play multiplayer in forever.
Because it just seems that many people are either banned and can't talk in the lobby, or they just don't want to. They don't care to because they fear that
they're going to get banned.
Comms ban. And I've seen people receive comms bans without even having a mic turned on. I've seen people comms banned for saying things that your in-game characters are saying, or even things that are more tame than what the in-game characters are saying. And this is an M-rated game. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that there's any sort of automated system like this. And while I get what they're going for with this, and they're trying to clean things up, and I'm absolutely not saying
they cranked it up way too high.
People have said in voice chat in the past in Call of Duty. At the end of the day, it's an M-rated game. Everybody has access to that mute button, so you can mute anybody you want at any time if you don't like what they're saying. And I really do think this has caused a lot more harm than good for the community of Call of Duty. And then finally, for this subtopic of the sense of a loss of community in Call of Duty, we're going to circle back to matchmaking. This has really made it difficult for mixed skilled players to have an enjoyable gameplay experience together in regular public matches. This isn't ranked play, this is just pubs, and I know for many people this has just destroyed their ability to play with friends. I hear this constantly from players, and I've also experienced this myself, where my friends just don't want to play with me anymore because their experience is drastically more difficult and they just can't compete when partied up with me, whereas when they play solo, it's like they're playing an entirely different game that allows them to have a far more enjoyable experience, and I think that has broken up a lot of the community as well. So with all of those points combined, it really seems like Call of Duty has been actively killing the sense of community in the game. And that's really frustrating to see because you would think they would want the exact opposite of that. You would think that they want people to be forming friendships and partying up with each other and creating a consistent schedule where they play together.
Morning. Happy late New Year.
Within their game rather than having
Hope your New Year went well for. I hope your New Year went well.
Talking on Discord. Next up for major concerns that I feel need to be addressed franchise
that was
is
good.
The cheating situation. And with this, they have been addressing it.
Holy shit, that food was good. Oh, how was your New Year? Do anything fun?
Battle, and there is a lot of money in developing cheats, especially for Call of Duty. So relative to a lot of smaller games, I think it's even more difficult. But at the same time, at least based on what I've been seeing from the PC community that plays Warzone, and from the ranked community as well, it just doesn't appear that their current level of anti-cheat is...
Anytime you're getting twice the pay, that's always good. Shoot, twice the pay? That's the way you bring in the New Year's getting money. So if you bring in the New Year's getting money, you're going to go out the year getting money. So that's a W.
Capable of keeping up with the cheating
That's a W.
To
That's a W in my opinion.
Level. Now, I know we can expect some kernel-level driver updates coming at some point in the future. That is something they talked about. So hopefully that makes for a meaningful improvement to the cheating situation. Of course, cheating is always going to be there. I think the best we can hope for is a significant reduction to cheating to the point where it's not a major concern game after game after
when cheating becomes less of an issue, I'll come back to Call of Duty. Till then, COD can kiss my ass right now.
And more so just something you run into on a very rare basis. But obviously, just an area they need to keep working at. Similar notes, that shadow ban system, I think, needs to be reevaluated.
100%. Get shadow banned out. Get shadow ban out of here.
When it comes to this, I'm sure the reason they're keeping it around is it's probably fairly effective at also quarantining actual cheaters, because they'll be reported by a variety of players as they run into them, and that will result in them being quarantined from the regular player base. It's just unfortunate that so many innocent players get caught up in that as well. And I think the most frustrating part of this is ending up in a shadow ban loop, where you get shadow banned, you get cleared of that shadow ban, so they determine that you weren't actually cheating, and then very shortly after, you get shadow banned again. And I just think something needs to be done about that part in particular. I don't think people would be nearly as
my shit's been bad.
Once, and then once they got
like my shit was bad. Like I remember we was playing, like I played 4 games in a row and ran into 4 cheaters. I'm talking about one that was like just shooting across the map, just people flying out. Like this shit was crazy. I even thought it was my lobby, so one of my people's that they don't play, we got in one of his lobbies, and I was like, man, this shit got on my nerves.
Good to go when they have like an increased
I ain't played Call of Duty. I don't think I played Call of Duty in probably like 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks. I ain't played Call of Duty in about 2 weeks. I played this weekend because of the Squid Games, but I ain't messing.
There's a lot of complexity.
I ain't got time. I ain't got time for cheaters. I ain't played it. I ain't touched it.
To be a little too heavy-handed for innocent players. And this just leaves us with one final thing I wanted to bring up on this. This is a much smaller issue than the ones I've been pointing out, but I still wanted to just tag it in on the end here. And this is, I feel especially recently, the cosmetics and monetization has really been getting out of hand. They've really been monetizing Call of Duty like it's a free-to-play game, without it being a free-to-play game, and without really getting the same level of live service that you would typically expect out of a game that's monetizing in this way. It can often be really frustrating to be experiencing some major issues with the game. There's some really big problems. Then all you hear from the publisher online is, hey, look at this new skin. Isn't that cool? That
yeah, 100%.
Or you boot up the game and you're just hit with ad after ad for the things
that is
buy in
true.
The store. And that I find kind of annoying. And just recently it was announced they're going to be having a premium event path that you can have as well. So
okay, hold up.
You have your battle pass that you can
I got something to say about that
Not
one.
only do you have the premium battle pass, which is a black cell, but on top of that, we can also now get an event pass, which gives us premium benefits within the events that they have in the game. And you get extra rewards on top of that. And in my eyes, this is just really getting over the top.
Okay. I don't have a problem with the premium event thing because Fortnite does it. A lot of other games do it. I have no problem with that. I just think it was a bad timing for them to do that. To say, hey, we have this big Squid Games exclusive in-game event, you know, and then say, oh, for what's it, 1,000 COD points, you can get this exclusive. Boo, 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 boo. I just think it was bad timing. I have no problem with that. If you want to pay for it, pay for it. I just don't. I think it was really bad timing with them with saying about the cheating and all that. I just don't think it was the right time for that. Just my opinion.
At least at the end of the day, it's not supply drops, and you're not paying for actual in-game playable items. All of that is still available to be unlocked just by playing the game. You don't have to be buying this stuff. But I just feel like you're constantly bombarded in game with all these things that you can buy and all these things they want you to buy. And like I said, it feels like you're playing a free-to-play game where it makes sense that they're doing that because that's how they support the game and keep the servers online. But this is a game that at least us non-Game Pass players paid full price for. To top this off, another topic that is a little bit controversial. I know there's always some pushback against this, but I think some of the skins themselves are really getting out of hand as well. Obviously, Call of Duty isn't a milsim. I don't expect every skin to be totally realistic and stuff. I expect some goofiness mixed in there. But it's getting to the point where I can only take so many unicorn farts, literal demons, and animal/human hybrids before I start questioning, is this still the same franchise that I fell in love with? It starts to feel really weird as somebody in their mid-30s to be playing a game like this, and it just feels like a game that's now targeted toward children. Now, I totally get the fact that things like this sell very well.
I don't know.
Obviously, there's an audience for it. It's making them a lot of money, so they're going to continue doing
100%,
it.
yeah.
If anything, it's probably just going to keep getting worse and worse.
100%.
I also know it's very unlikely that this will ever be the case, but I would love to see a filter to even just turn off non-human skins. That's kind of where I personally draw the line. As long as it's human, I'm
I don't know about that
okay
one.
with it. If it's somebody that's in like a Halloween costume, for instance, that's fine. I can live with that. But when it's a demon or a lizard or a shark, that's where the question pops into my mind. Is this really the game for me? I mean, I still love the general gameplay style of Call of Duty. That's really what I fell in love with. And I am still generally enjoying my gameplay experience.
I don't know about that
It's
one.
just stuff like that where I really wish I could just turn that off. I don't want to see that in my game. But again, like I said, this is not the biggest issue with the franchise at the moment, and it's not like it's an absolute deal breaker for me, but it's something I want to
don't know about that one, though.
because I do think this has been pushing at least a portion of the player base away from the franchise in general, because it no longer really has that same identity that they fell in love with to begin with. And with that, that's finally going to wrap it up today's video. Just a bunch of the higher level things that I feel deserve some attention. And I definitely have some concerns about the longevity of this franchise based on the trends that we've been seeing lately. Now, at the end of the day, of course, I could be wrong with this. Maybe Call of Duty's actually doing just fine. And these trends...
I think Call of Duty is doing just fine.
Maybe just a tiny portion of the community.
I think Call of Duty is doing fine. It's just... Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Thank you, my friend.
Good morning. I think Call of Duty is doing just fine. I do. I don't think that... I think... How can I say this? I think Call of Duty is doing fine, but I also think that they're going to have to revamp it somehow. They're going to have to do something to pull the player base. Even if it's just to fix everything that's going to bring people back, but how are they going to get more people in it is my question.
Community being really loud. And in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. But I really don't know about that. And this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you feeling about the current state of the Call of Duty franchise in general? Not just focusing on Black Ops 6 or the current state of Warzone, but just in general. How are you feeling about the franchise? And have your thoughts and opinions changed on this over the years?
I totally agree. I feel like I'm totally with you on that. I think that they think bringing Verdansk back, and I call it Verdansk, like Tim. But I think bringing that back, they think a lot of people are just going to come back and forget, and say, "Oh, this is the best thing. This reminds me of when we was at home playing 24/7." No, it's not going to. If we don't have a anti-cheat, if we don't fix these bugs, if we don't fix all this thing, bringing Verdansk back isn't going to do squat for Call of Duty. In fact, I said this a couple weeks ago. If they bring Verdansk back and it's the same way as it is now, if it's the same way as when they brought Rebirth Island back this time and they had to shut it down because of the volume, I think it's the nail in the coffin for Warzone. I'll say it. I think it's the nail in the coffin for Warzone. If they bring Verdansk back and they decide and they don't do anything, it's the nail in the coffin. Everyone will go somewhere else. They'll be so mad. I promise you. I'm not getting dookied on Verdansk by hackers for nothing. 100%. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. I'm not. I just can't. I think it's stupid. Let me see here. Oh, I see. I see. They brought everyone. They brought everyone to Call of Duty to play the game early. That's correct. All right, let's see what my guy says. Come on.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So, a couple weeks ago, Call of Duty flew me out on a top secret trip.
They ruining us. %. Like, oh my God. Like, if I was to put on a video right now of Verdansk, we would have a memory at every POI in that whole map, and a good one. We could go the first map, the second map, the 84 map. We can go through all those maps and remember something that happens, and just be like, damn, those are the times. Like, if you bring it back and you mess it up, it's gonna kill it. It's gonna put the nail in the coffin, because you can't mess up an OG. You can't tarnish that name. You just can't. It depends. Yeah, it depends. Like, I want to see. I'm probably am going to pay for the exclusive one, just because I want that. I want that damn new skin.
Access of the Black Ops 6 Squid Game event, which includes red light, green light, and a bunch of other really cool things that
I want to play that red light, green light. I won't play that. That looks like fun. Red light, green light. If it's done right, it looks like fun.
finally able to show you today. Finally! Now, before we get into it, I do want to give a massive thank you to Call of Duty for flying me out to this event. It's always a pleasure to take part in them. And
they do look sick. As much as I hate Call of Duty right now, and I haven't played the game in 2 weeks, I'm gonna buy the exclusive thing and get the with the all black skin. I don't watch Squid Games. That shit's gonna look. That shit. It just looks good. God, I hate saying that. I hate saying that shit too.
And drop a like too whilst you're there. Why not? Do it! So first of all, before we get into the gameplay, let's talk about what you will see when you first click on the event, including the rewards, the skins, how you actually unlock the rewards, everything. So here it is. This is what you see when you first click on the event. So it's an XP based event, of course, with the final reward being at 356,000 XP. However, this XP event works a little bit differently in comparison to others. It's almost like a mini battle pass. So there's a free section and also the premium section. Premium meaning, of course, you have to buy it. Anyway, your instant reward in the premium section.
You damn right. You're damn right. That's why I'm getting it. I want, like, I remember running upstairs and those little dark shadows and the rose skin would be right there. Oh, it was so great. And then you had the dragon breath doof doof and you just doof doof. Oh, people would be, if we had prox chat, then oh my God. If you had prox chat, then that would be hilarious. God, I would love to hear prox chat. Just staring at the corners. Oh, it still gives people nightmares.
Is the high authority XM4 blueprint, which actually looks pretty cool. I was able to get some gameplay with it to show you guys. However, it's not animated, so it's nothing special really, which is also probably why it's the instant reward. But then also, if you work your way through the premium section, you get a knife blueprint, which isn't anything too crazy. You get a finishing move. You also get a pistol blueprint for the GS45. Again, nothing too crazy, to be honest. You carry on, you get emotes, you get emblems,
you notice how he played that to the side, nothing too crazy. He tried to play that to the side a little bit.
a concussion grenade skin, you get a blueprint for the sword called Boss Order, and then finally for the main reward you get an ultra skin, which is the front man. If you guys
reactive
Squid Game, then you'll know exactly who this is. It's like the main guy, and honestly this is probably the best reward out of everything because it's all black. You guys know how we are with those operators.
Yes sir.
The rose skin back in the day, and
you just said it. You just said it.
So this might be the new one. It's kind of tough. And then in the free
you just said it.
the instant reward is the player number 6.
Damn, not the emote, not the emote. Oh my god,
You know,
I'd be
course,
pissed.
Player taking part in Squid Game. You get loading screens. You also get
Okay, I wonder.
another player 115, which, you know, 115, we know why they picked that. And then the final reward for the free section is the carver melee weapon, which is pretty cool, I guess, if you care about melee weapons.
I'd be
But if
so
you really
sick
care
about that.
melee weapons, you probably won't even have to get that XP because you guys know what they do. They'll probably add a bundle with the carver melee weapon as
That's
soon
true.
as the event starts tomorrow. There's also other operator skins that I assume because they weren't in the event, they have to be bundles that you can buy in the store, whether that's at the start of the event or sometime during. But we've got the lion mask.
Wait, so whoa. Does it start tomorrow for real? For real? Hold up. Uh-oh. Drake got a little snippet. Hold up. Hey, YouTube, don't hit me for this.
Fuck over at beef, I'm trying to get the party lit. Hooked on like a villain to him. Dirk's boy told me Marvin's Room was his favorite song, he would drill it to it. 1,000 niggas rapping murder shit and like 10 niggas that'll really do it. Savage, you don't fuck over
Damn.
at beef, I'm trying to get
Oh, now this is hilarious. This is funny. Base game $70, $30 for the preseason bundle. Game bundles between $20 and $30. Base battle pass per season $10. New game event $10. Broken game check. No real anti-cheat X. Hey, Modern Warzone fried them with that. That shit was crazy. It comes out today on the 3rd. Oh, what time does it come out? We gotta load into Warzone. Get me some chips and dip. I gotta get some coins here. Let's see. Call of Duty. When's this thing come out? It'd be 5 p.m. your time. Ooh. When does this come out? All right, let's see when this thing comes out. Let's see when it comes out. I want to say it normally comes out at like 1 o'clock. Do you get all of these? No, there's no way you get all of them. Oh, you do get all of them. Wow. Okay. So 1 p.m. my time. Okay, 1 p.m. Oh. Okay, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Damn.
VIP,
That's all right.
which is an operator that you
We'll
can
be-
use, which is
I should have just waited. I should have just waited to go online. It's all right. I'm gonna get off at 8 and then take a nap and then come back on at 1.
You could actually be her, which is so weird. And then of course the soldiers from the games, if you want to be one of those. There's also a few blueprints. There's the Squid Game one for the Jackal PPW,
I like that.
which again isn't animated, pretty basic, but it fits the theme, so it makes sense. But there is a pretty cool one called Lacquerd. I don't know how to say it, but it's for the LR762, and I assume it's part of a bundle for one of the masked VIPs.
That doesn't look that bad though.
Looks, it's all golden with a certain print on it. It looks pretty cool. But anyway, let's get into the gameplay, starting with red light, green light.
I can't wait to play that one.
Oh!
This is gonna be fun.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. What are they on the ground? Yo! Wait, we can go?
Oh!
What?
Yo!
That's not my fault. Hell no. Oh, you're still going? Wait.
Damn!
Doll can hear us, so everyone's gotta like.
Oh, that's why. You can't talk.
Bro, if you talk, back.
What?
I was out there laughing and stuff. I don't even know if I spoke. It might have picked up someone else.
Yo!
Damn. Alright, lock in. We're winning this one.
Damn! You caught that too. They're using prox chat against us. You talk, that thing shoot you.
Bro, I'ma just hardly move next time, bro. This might be better on keyboard and mouse, no cap.
I was just about to say that.
Hey, we need to lock in, bro.
We need to lock it in, bro. We can't be losing over there.
What is going on?
Oh, yeah, we want to. Yeah. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh! Oh shit!
You can't wait. You can't jump.
Somebody got.
Oh!
Hey, bro. We're winning this next one.
You can kill them.
Just arrow keys. Damn.
Oh, Cookie's about to die.
I would have died right now. Let's lock it in, bro.
We gotta lock it in. Okay.
Yo, so you can kill them? Oh, that's
Made it
crazy.
past the first stop.
I'm going hella slow.
Hella slow.
Hella slow.
All right, Ocean.
I swear to God, I can't wait till 1 p.m. I'm gonna be on this bug, having talking shit.
Please, bro.
Could you imagine if your controller has stick drift? If your controller has stick drift, you're fucked. Oh shit.
I'm dead.
Damn.
All right, got. Oh! Could you imagine if somebody meat shields somebody in this damn game? They meat shield, they get killed. The other person gets killed. You're still alive. That would be hilarious. I'm gonna go for that tomorrow. Well, today. I mean, I already got the budget out. That's a fan. I'm gonna meat shield somebody. I swear tomorrow. I swear.
Someone won already?
Oh!
How I get shot then? Hey. Hey, bro.
I got red light, green light. Oh yeah. Red light, green light. Come on. Yeah. Red light.
Damn.
Green light. Come on,
What is that?
Before we get into the rest, whilst we were there, they also gave us this package right here.
Oh, shit.
Also looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Ain't that the
This is theme
caskets?
of Squid Game too. Let's open this up. We can already see at the bottom I have a number 260. And here we go, man. Oh nah. So they gave me this and it says you possess one of just 456 game over controllers by Scuff created in partnership with Xbox and Netflix Squid Game. And look at this.
Oh, that's nice.
Fire.
That's
The other ones
crazy.
actually have the shape on them, which is so
That's
cool.
crazy.
And then the control. Ooh, nah, that is.
That's crazy. I think that's fire right there. That was wild.
Flu fizzy chews. Chew fizz. Feel better fast. No
Oh, 100%. And then he gonna be getting shot by the red light, green light person.
Everybody cares about
God, these damn ads get on my nerves.
If that's you, the spoke post is not for you. Every month they fill
Tough, look at that. It even has that on the back too. That's so clean, man. Damn. So overall, a Squid Game event was actually
Oh my
really
God.
cool. There is actually a bunch of other modes that we didn't get to try out. I'm not sure if there's actually any actual Squid Game multiplayer modes like red light, green light that we're gonna see. There is actually some regular multiplayer modes themed around
I ain't worried.
Squid Game, which is
I ain't worried
actually
about
really
that.
cool. And there's also a new kill streak, the red light, green light kill streak, which you guys saw me get. So the mode works quite weird. I'm not sure if we've seen anything like that in the past, but basically it starts off as a certain mode. Let's say it starts off as kill confirmed, or at least a similar mode to kill confirmed, where you have to pick up something after killing them. Then after a certain amount of time, it will switch to a different mode like hard point and so forth. It would just carry on like that. But the new kill streak, red light, green light, you'll earn that by obviously getting a certain amount of kills. And that is in the best because middle of event camos 3, and they're about regular people get quite so much hype you can put behind an operator. You're getting hyped at the thought of other people seeing your operator skin, which yes, it is cool in a
Imagine
way,
being me, Gungrave, and Rebirth, and he goes red light with freezes. You know how funny that's gonna be? God, hey man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm probably gonna stream for about another hour, and then I'm gonna go to bed, and then I'm gonna wake up at 12, and well, I'm gonna wake up at 11, get ready for this daggone thing. Damn, imagine that, like everyone's just shooting and going off. Oh man, I didn't know it came out today. Oh my God, I am ecstatic right now. Hold up, this is how long it's been since I've been on this damn game. Oh, I didn't mean to do Steam. Fuck. Damn you, Steam. Damn you, Scuba Steam. Matter of fact, no, never mind. I didn't mean to do Steam. Off. The hell was that? Oh, damn. My bad, YouTube. Log out, exit. Damn, I may do that. Hold up. 1 second. Damn. Now it's got me thinking. Now it's really got me thinking. Hold up. All right. All right, let's see how bad this update's going to be for me. Because I know it's going to be an update. Hey, no update. Wow. All right. I wonder if it tells me when the last time I logged in. I don't tell me. This is the first time I've logged into this game in probably 2 weeks. But we know what I got to get. It's probably going to be like, who are you? I got to remember to mute my mic, too, when we play red light, green light. How many Call of Duty tokens I got? Oh, there's free stuff? It's like... Where's this unicorn? Is this the unicorn bundle? With the unicorn person? I think this is cool. Oh, boys. Hey, I got 100. Yay. So how much is this damn? The 1100? All right, hold up. I gotta can't show everybody my information. All right, where's it at? This will only take a moment. All right, hold on one second, y'all. Oh, my bad. We should be good now. All right. Here. Boom. All right. Get these coins real quick. Oh, that's my. That's Sophie. There we go. I was screwing that all up. All right. I got enough for the damn thing. Here's. Oh, it's been forever. Oh, double XP weekend? It's activated? Damn. All right, here's what I'm probably gonna do. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. Already got that. Oh, I did. I haven't played this in forever. All right, so here's what I'm probably gonna do. I didn't know this thing came out today. So what I'm probably going to do is hop off and then hop back on at like 11:30. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I love y'all, man. I'll be back. I'm sorry. I didn't know this thing was going to come out today. And then we'll grind all damn day. We'll play red light, green light. We'll do everything. So guys, I love y'all. Little short mini stream. I'll see y'all in a couple hours.